back to Skippers, the final mock draft Monday before the baseball season. You guys loved the points league content yesterday, so today we went into a points league mock draft. Problem was, Yahoo doesn't actually have points league mock drafts, so the other people in this draft were drafting as a head-to-head category draft. But Jeremy and I, we tried to go out of our way to do a points league draft for our two teams at least.
Yeah, you guys want more points league content, so we attacked this like we were drafting in a points league.
So don't really look at so many teams' picks. Look kind of what we've done, and we'll explain what we went through. So, Jerry, you drafted what is this, 5 slot?
Yeah, so the 5 slot, no-brainer. Vlad or Soto was there. I was going to pick them. If both of those two players, which in most leagues, most drafts that you're in for points, those two players will get taken, I would have took Corbin Burns at this spot. I've been an avid sayer about picking pitchers early, especially in points leagues, but Vlad being here is just too good to pass up.
And someone took Ozzie Albies second.
Yeah.
So that kind of ruined everything for us. For me, I go Kyle Tucker, a guy who can rack up a lot of counting stats, maybe a better roto player than he is a points league player. So a guy, I was looking at Devers here because I think he's just going to hit 1,000 home runs and tons of RBIs. But Kyle Tucker was what I liked here. Him and Mookie kind of both the same as like good roto players and solid points league players. But it swings around to me in the second, and I go my first pitcher, and that's Brandon Woodruff. As a guy I could have easily taken in the first, but I get him in the second, so I'm really happy how my team starts there, and a hitter and a pitcher for me.
Yeah, and then I come back, and obviously I 100% was going in on a pitcher. Walker was there, which I was very happy about. I think that he's great in both roto and points league, so I love that pick. And then obviously in the turnaround, I went with Matt Olson. He's obviously my league winner, especially in points leagues. I'm surprised he was actually not taken here in the third round. As you could tell, I went 2 first basemen. I think that in 2 utility spot leagues, people shouldn't be afraid to pick. Like if he's the best player on the board and you truly believe that, you take him, because the utility is still a starting position on your fantasy team.
Absolutely. They're not like, you don't need to put scrubs in your utility spots. You can put stars in there as well. So I really wanted Urias or Aaron Judge, and of course they go the 2 picks in front of me. So I go Teoscar Hernandez here. Just another solid player who rack up some counting stats. Another good roto player that I'm used to seeing, but I think he can, again, contribute in points. Nick Castellanos is actually a really good pick right behind me. So then it swings around again. Sandy Alcantara I go with. Happy with him. He's going to throw 200 innings if he's healthy. The wins, maybe not so much there in the points league, but I think the strikeouts will be there, and I think at least 12 wins for Sandy this season will be a successful season, and I'm happy taking him in the 4.
Yeah, so obviously I went 2 position players and 1 pitcher, so I knew I had to go 2 pitchers here was the game plan. Kevin Gausman, I've been drafting him a lot recently. He's going to rack up a ton of wins for the Blue Jays. He's a high strikeout pitcher. I think that this was a no-brainer in the points league. And then the turnaround, I can't believe he wasn't taken yet. And I don't really love Robbie Ray, but if I do like him, it's in a points league just because of his high strikeout potential with the Mariners now. 5th round for Robbie Ray, I think, is very good. I mean, must avoid, but that's like 2nd, 3rd round is where he's going in most drafts. So I know you had him as your must avoid. I don't love him this year, but if you're going to pick Robbie Ray, you pick him in a points league.
Yeah, it was must avoid based on his ADP, right? If you see someone falling, there's obviously value in them. So as your draft, again, these players fall to you, that's when you pick them up. Robbie Ray, perfect reason for that right there. You take him every time in that slot. So it comes to me, I wanted Freddie Peralta, snipe from me, and then Javi Baez, a guy who is going to just light up the counting stats, right? Roto player, not so much because of the average, but points league, I think he's going to do a lot of damage this season. Swings around to me again. I was going kind of hitter pitcher. That's how it fell to me. Joe Musgrove, a guy who I said, I forget, we've done so many episodes. What is it? Must draft pitcher, I think, for Joe Musgrove. I like him a lot. I think the Padres are going to be better than people think. The post-breakout Padres who were last year, I think they're going to play like they should have the whole season. So I think Joe Musgrove can rack up wins. Good strikeout pitcher. His stuff plays. He's going to put it together.
Yeah, Joe Musgrove, good pick. You loved him, and obviously it's a good pick in points league. I went with Corey Seager. I think that he's just super solid. I think that he has a really good bounce back year with Texas. He's in a good situation there. He's a great points league, good roto player. Corey Seager, I think, was a good pick here. On the turnaround here, I decided to go Ketel Marte. We both loved him. Love him this year. I had him a must draft infielders. 7th round, I think, is very reasonable for Ketel Marte. People are talking about MVP this year.
Some
I don't know if the
people
team.
talked
I don't
about
know if
that.
their team is good enough for him to win MVP. But Ketel Marte here, I need a second baseman. I think he's a very good option.
And that outfield eligibility
Yeah.
as well. It helps with your roster composition to have people you can place all over. So it's awesome. Guy swings to me in the 7th here. A guy I don't think I've drafted all season, Carlos Rodon. Incredible start of last season. The arm issues kind of melted away his season at the end, but the strikeouts were there and they were legit. So he goes to a team where they've kind of rejuvenated pitchers. Not that Rodon needs rejuvenation, he just needs his arm to be healthy. So I'll take a chance on that. And Carlos Rodon with those strikeouts comes to me in the 8th, and I go Bobby Witt Jr. I don't know how you feel about the pick of Bobby Witt Jr., but he is a 25-25 guy playing every day. He made the opening day lineup. He's going to play 3rd, I believe. I'll take a chance on him.
Yeah, I think that he's a better roto player than Points League, I'd say. I'm a little worried about if he can produce from a power standpoint this year in his first year. But hey, a rookie could be.
And that's where I feel like he won't struggle. I think maybe the average will struggle. I think the power's legit, though.
Okay. I went with Schwarber. I think
That's an awesome pick.
Obviously, 8th round Schwarber going to the Phillies. He's going to smack a lot of bombs. He also has, I believe he has outfield eligibility as well. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have drafted 3 first basemen here, so I'm like 100% sure. And then Sean I really like him with the Padres now. And
we were in the car on the way back, and you asked.
Well, yeah, we were talking about if his value goes up or goes down. I think it 100% goes up because he's going to a better team. It'll be interesting how the Padres use him, if they're going to kind of extend him a little more with his pitch count. Obviously the ballpark, but I don't think it's like a huge difference maker in him. I think I'm more like that he's going to a better team. So I think it's a great pick in the 9th round.
Yeah, I didn't think it hurt his value at all either. We agreed in the car. I go Shane McClanahan here in the 9th round, a guy who they said they need to start stretching out a bit. And I'm going to believe the Rays when they talk, because usually they tell the truth, but usually we don't like the truth from the Rays. Yeah. And this is a truth that we like. So Shane McClanahan, guy who's going to rack up wins on a good team again, right? Strikeout stuff's there. I'm just happy with Shane McClanahan in that spot. Swings to me, guy who I loved last year, Rhys Hoskins. I'm pretty sure I'm seeing him hit 2 potentially in that lineup. Schwarber 1, Hoskins 2.
Jeez.
I may be wrong, but I've seen tweets where Hoskins was hitting 2. I think he can get it done. Again, not a great average player, but the counting stats will rack up for Rhys Hoskins, making him a better points league player. And I needed a first baseman. I would have gone CJ Cron probably, but trying to diversify my portfolio here, right, and go with a different guy, and that's Rhys Hoskins, who I'm happy with.
Yeah, McClanahan is way more valuable in points leagues because, I mean, one's high strikeout, and you only need five innings for a win. So quality start leagues, you avoid McClanahan pretty much, unless you get him really late at a good value. I went with Jorge Soler with Miami now. Obviously, we saw he had a good playoffs. This guy can hit a lot of bombs. He started off the year really bad last year, insanely bad. But I think he found his groove, and Miami sort of gets these signings. Like Marte was really good for them. Soler could be one of those signings where he kind of has a really good bounce back year. And then in the 11th, I went with my guy that I really like this year in the 11th round. That's Ian Anderson.
Wins. Good team.
Yeah. Good team. Get some wins, get some strikeouts.
So 11th, it comes to me. You didn't like this pick that much, and that's fine, but I wanted a closer to get me some saves, and I think Corey Knebel can do that. I said must draft closers. I thought Corey Knebel will be the guy. So again, I'm going to tell you guys to draft him. I might as well draft him myself. I believe in what I say. So Corey Knebel was the pick for me in the 11th.
So it comes back to me here.
No, me.
Yeah, you picked the rookie.
Yeah, I did pick the rookie. This guy was ranked 300th on Yahoo's projections. No one would have looked him up because they're not sharp like Avery. I looked up Julio Rodriguez after the 2nd round to see where he was going. I think this is a no-brainer as well. Potentially generational talent at the plate. Maybe he's a good roto player because he can do it all. But again, in the 12th round we are here, look at some of these players going, like Austin Meadows, Joey Votto, Ryan Mountcastle. I think the upside is just way higher with Julio Rodriguez. So I was happy to take him.
Yeah, I think that I hope that he pans out. But seeing what Kalenic did last year was not good. And he was like, everyone was thinking the moon over that. They were putting him in the category of like Acuna and Tatis last year because of how good he was. But no, I think Julio Rodriguez, hopefully, I'm hoping he comes in, but definitely a lot of upside and high ceiling with him this year. I went with Matt Chapman, a player I will only be drafting in points leagues. I think that he has a really good bounce back season with the Jays. He's in a good spot. He's going to be playing for a better team in a ballpark where it's hitter friendly. I think Matt Chapman is a lock for over 30 home runs this year. On the turnaround, another known great points league, and that's Joey Gallo. First full season with the Yankees in the short porch. Gallo should just mash there. Obviously in OPP leagues too. He's
gonna hit 205, but he's gonna hit 30 dingers.
Yeah. I think that he gets up to potentially 40. One of my bold predictions was Gallo leads the MLB in home runs this year.
I like that. I said that last year. That didn't work. So I go a guy in the 13th. I think I've said this for every pick. I like Logan Gilbert a lot. Strikeout upsides there. Team should be okay. The Mariners, do you think they make the playoffs?
I think they do. They should.
So close last year. I like Logan Gilbert. I think the talent is real. Some wins there for the guy. Strikeout upside. Take it all the time. And then 14th round, guy, I said I didn't want to look at spring training too much, but I got influenced by spring training, and I took Josh Donaldson, a good points league player again. You said he likes to walk a lot as well. Good for us here. Needed a third baseman. Josh Donaldson was my pick.
Yeah, I think Donaldson's kind of like a shittier version of Joey Gallo right now.
Yeah.
Would you say that?
In which way?
Like power-wise.
Yeah.
Just because Johnson's getting older.
Yeah.
But
hey,
still
he was throwing them out of every park in Florida this spring.
Loves the AL East too.
Yeah, he does.
I am going with Marcus Stroman. I think that he is a solid fifth starter. He's going to log a lot of innings for you. Obviously, the Cubs aren't a very good team, but Stroman had a very good season last year. Always underrated. I remember I picked him as I think a sleeper last year. I had him, and he ended up having a fantastic season with the Mets. But Marcus Stroman I think, has a very high floor. And then I went Tanner Hawk. Because of that right-hand eligibility starter and points league. Relief pitcher eligibility and starting. So it's kind of committing to that, I don't need a good closer type scenario here.
That can work. I go with Viciel Garcia. You talked about Jorge Soler, how you felt about guys who go to Miami and kind of get underrated but have really good seasons. Viciel Garcia had a really good season last year too. So I think he's flying under the radar. And then I go another closer, Scott Barlow. But okay. I was just trying to get two closers, and I'm fine with Scott Barlow. I think his stuff's legit, so I'll take him. Yeah,
it just depends on how good the Royals are.
Yeah.
I went with Alejandro Kirk of the Jays. It seems like they're going to use him on DH, so you should get lots. I have him as my starting catcher. Now, I would probably do two catchers. Two-catcher system with Kirk just because I don't know what's playing. So I'd be hawking that wire after this draft. But I think Kirk the guy can hit. He can't really field, but he can hit. So, and the catcher position is very thin. So a 16-round catcher in Kirk, I think, is worth it. So on the turnaround, I took Grichuk. A lot of people are projecting a strong season now that he's at Coors. It seems like a match made in heaven going to Coors. He had a pretty good season last year with the Jays. Definitely like him better in points league, like we've talked about with a lot of these guys. But Grichuk and Coors in the 17th round, I think is a great pick.
I go Joe Adell in the 17th. Sorry about the screenshot. I cut it off. I'm a donkey. But Joe Adell, I take a guy with, again, huge upside. I didn't go really a lot of safe floor guys. In this team build, I went a lot of high upside guys. So this is a boomer bust type team. And if these guys hit, I'm laughing with their talent that they have. Joe Adell led the minors in home runs before he got called up. Awesome season. Cut the strikeouts. I think he's going to be good. Then Shane Bazguy's hurt right now again, the McClanahan type thing. Again, he's just uber talented. I'm going to take a chance on him in the 18th round. He's going to sit on my IL for a little bit. I'll be able to pick up another guy, but when he comes back, I'm going to be happy to plug and play.
Yeah, and then I went Krylov, a guy that I really liked last year and this year. I think that he finds his way into that 4 or 5 hitting slot with the Twins. I think Miguel Sano is going to be gone at some point, and Krylov will take his spot. And then Plesac. He is bound for a bounce back season. Really good 2 years ago. Last year had very disappointing season. the Guardians seem to always have a good rotation, and if they're going to have a good rotation this year, it's going to be Plesac is going to be one of the best pitchers on that staff.
My sad catching team has to take Sean Murphy in the 19th round. I don't have much to say about that. I thought he was going to be really good last year. He was okay. He's in a bad hitter's park, but who had to take a catcher. I think only one other catcher went after this, so that's what I had to deal with. Then I took Bobby Dalbec, a guy who I think can legitimately hit 40 home runs this season if he figures it out. Swing and miss stuff, take that out of his game. He's going to be a really good player for, again, really good Red Sox team.
Yeah, you know how I feel about Bobby. I hate him. I hate Bob.
You hate him? You just don't like him in general?
No, I was kind of big on it. I had him a bunch of shares last year, and man, was he just didn't really pan out.
He didn't start hot.
No, he didn't. Really good lineup he's in. So hopefully, I mean, if he figures out that Boston Red Sox lineup is super scary.
Yeah,
super scary.
4th in the division though.
Yeah, I went Torkelson, going to be playing with the Tigers. I mean, like we talked about prospects, right? They got these high ceilings. I think this late, it's worth taking a flyer on a prospect in the 20th round. Needed a backup third baseman too, so decided to go Torkelson. And then on the turnaround,
finish up your last 3 here.
Yeah, so I went Aaron Ashby. Like I talked about, I was doing the reliever starter type thing.
Yep.
AJ Pollock, now with the White Sox, and then John Gray.
All right, and then I went Tommy Pham, Nick Lodolo, Paul DeYoung to finish up. Nick Lodolo looks like he's going to start the season with the Reds. I don't know how much more he's going to pitch after that, but I think the talent is there. Again, the last couple picks on your team are usually off your team at some point, and you have IL people as well, so you need a lot of roster spots. I'll take the chance on Nick Lodolo. Tommy Pham, in Cincinnati, better ballpark to hit in. Hopefully he can figure out the home runs here. And then Paul DeYoung, home run guy, just as it is, so took that chance. Anything more from you, Jarrett?
Nope.
Road to 10K, we keep on climbing. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We'll see you next time.